The genealogical tree of the renowned Lakha family draws back to their forefather named Surji. His son was Jairaj, and grandson was Manji. The son of Manji was Lalji, who had 4 sons, Panja, Virji, Lakha, and Kalyan. They lived in a village called Barbe Raja, about 12 miles away from Jamnagar. Kutchh. Lakho, better known as Lakha, was a hawker and lost his house in a terrible famine. Reduced to extreme destitution, he wandered from village to village in search of livelihood. His son Kassim, who was born in 1853, had to toil and moil in Kutchh. Nothing is known of his early life except that he worked in a grocery shop. The drought and water shortage had remained the buzzwords in Kutchh, and weather conditions had taken a heavy toll onto the economy of the entire region. Consequently, people moved elsewhere in search of subsistence. When Kassim Lakha was 18 years old, he left his birthplace and boarded a dhow at Porebandar with few Ismailis and landed in Zanzibar in 1871. He started his work in Sultan Syed Bargash's firm, 1870 to 1888. Within a year, he was well established with the Sultan. He was promoted to an advance party responsible for providing logistics to the Sultan's campment as he toured various parts of his lands, including Pemba and coastal strip of Mombasa and Malindi up to Lamu. He learned how to cook for the retinue. He was tall, very strong, and well built and could lift a cooking pot weighing over 100 pounds. When he felt well settled, he called his mother and his wife, Ratanbai Pradhan, with whom he had married in 1870, just before he left India. They came both by dhow to Zanzibar by the end of 1871. In 1880, Kassim Lakha's first child was born, a daughter Kursha. In 1884, a son, Mohammed, was born. It is a known fact that most of the Indian Ismailis came to Africa with entrepreneurial skills in their blood, business in their brains, and immense caliber to labor in their muscles, but with empty pockets. This illustration richly permeated the life of Kassim Lakha, who earned his bread and butter by the sweat of his brow. After having worked with the Sultan's firm for nearly 10 years, he moved to Lamu with his family, where he opened a small grocery shop. His family enlarged with the birth of Fatima, Alibhai, Hassan, Sakina, Rehmatullah, and Jeena. He employed a Hindu teacher, Raval, from Zanzibar, to teach reading and writing to his children. Kassim Lakha was a social worker and focused on helping the Ismailis who came from India. He was also appointed Mukhi of the Lamu Jamaat Khana. In 1898, he and his family moved from Lamu to Mombasa, where he stayed for a few years to establish a small shop. In 1903, soon after the railway reached Kisumu, the city became their new home. In 1905, he was appointed by Varas Aladina Vishram, 1815 to 1916, to be the inspector of all his shops in Uganda. His son Mohammed was also employed in the same firm as a manager of the Kisumu branch. The other 3 brothers, Rehmatullah, Hassan, and Alibhai, were also employed in the same firm as junior accountants, where they learned bookkeeping. Kassim Lakha's job required a great deal of traveling, which was difficult because bicycles and bullock carts were used in and around Kisumu, while dhows were used to navigate on the lake. Because of such excessive traveling and poor medical facilities, he died in Kampala in 1910 of malaria. It should be recorded that the plague broke out in Kisumu in 1905, resulting in heavy casualties in the town. Without discrimination of caste and creed, Kassim Lakha hurled in the field as a savior by supplying medical facilities at his own expenses. In appreciation of his invaluable services, the government built a clock tower in Kisumu to honor his memory. Sir Robert, the governor of Kenya, performed its opening ceremony on 19 August 1938. His 4 sons, Rehmatullah, died in 1943, Hassan died in 1982, Mohammed died in 1936, and Alibhai revived the memory of Kassim Lakha. Kisumu and the districts around were not healthy areas. Alibhai, the son of Kassim Lakha, contracted smallpox and was later on struck by appendicitis whilst at Sio Port, where no medical facilities subsisted. He had to ask Kurji Meghji to go by bicycle to the nearest post office, Mumias, located at the distance of 50 miles, to send a telegram to Kisumu requesting a doctor's help. His brother Muhammad picked him up with a tugboat, therefore having him operated sooner. In 1910, his brother Muhammad resigned from the firm of Varas Aladina Vishram, and with his brothers he ventured into the product business. The family affair henceforth became known as Alibhai and Rehmatullah. Products such as groundnuts, hides and skins were bought by Indians and sold to European firms stationed in Kisumu for export. Gradually, Alibhai and his brothers opened up depots in Kendu Bay, Homa Bay, Karungu and Kisi, all in South Nyanja. More depots were opened in central Nyanja from Luenda and Yala to Asombo Bay, and North Nyanja in Sio Port and Mumias, and in Tanganyika at Musoma and Vanza. The Ismailis, at the employment of their family, manned the depots. Alibhai supervised the business in Sio Port. As the family expanded its business, it began exporting directly. Instead of selling the product to English firms in Kisumu, it was being sold through Mombasa directly to the importing companies in England. Prosperity smiled upon the family. Alibhai was sent to Mombasa to open up a branch. Now the family owned a fleet of dhows, running on the lakes under the supervision of Dhanji Manji at Kisumu. In sum, they built up a vast business of cotton ginneries, land and property, import and export, palatial hotels, investment companies, coffee factory, and plantation. Henceforward, each family member began to assume his or her patronymic name as Lakha. Abdul Rasul was the son of Alibhai Kassim Lakha, who was born in Mombasa, Kenya on 11th November 1916. He was the first family member to access education. He did his early schooling in the Aga Khan School in Mombasa and passed senior Cambridge in 1933. In 1934, he joined his family business, beginning with cotton ginneries followed by bakery, confectionery, biscuits, White House Bakery, and Sisal Farm. Abdul Rasul Alibhai Kassim Lakha was a social worker and, like his father, perpetuated the tradition of service in various fields. He was the charter member of the Lions Club in Nairobi in 1958 and later its chairman, 1971 to 72. He was also the chairman of the Kenya Cotton Association, 1963 to 1976, the nominated member of Kenya Government on Parastal Board, Kenya Lint and Seed Marketing Board, 1963 to 1975, the nominated member of Kenya Government on Parastal Board, Kenya Sisal Board, 1972 to 1974, and vice chairman of the board, 1974 to 1978. A member of the Executive Sisal Growers Association, 1966 to 1969, as well as its chairman, 1970 to 1974, etc. Abdul Rasul Alibhai Kassim Lakha rendered exceptional services within the community. He was a member and host secretary of the Ismaili Supreme Council for Africa, with Count Fateh Ali Dhala as president in 1945 to 51. He was the chairman of the Aga Khan Provincial Education Board, 1951 to 1954, the host secretary of Prince Karim Aga Khan Provincial Council, Nairobi, 1954 to 1962, and the director of the Jubilee Insurance Co. Limited, 1973 to 1983. He was also the president of the Ismailia Association for Kenya, 1968 to 1971, and the Mukhi of Darkna Jamaat Khana of Nairobi, 1964 to 1966 and 1966 to 1968. Furthermore, in 1952, he was a delegate of the Nairobi Provincial Council at the Evian Conference in Evian, France. He also attended the conference of the World Ismailia Associations in Paris. Through his many talents and the incredible service rendered, he merited the title of Alija in 1946 with a gold medal during the Diamond Jubilee. He was crowned with the title of Wazir in 1962. Wazir Abdul Rasul Alibhai Kassim Lakha died on 30th December 1998. Two sons, Shamsh Kassim Lakha and Akbar Kassim Lakha, and a daughter Nargis ensure the family line. Wazir Abdul Rasul Alibhai was a robust-tempered man who prioritized his children's education. He often advised them that the only legacy he had given them was a good education. Shamsh Kassim Lakha was the first family member to obtain a postgraduate degree. Wazir Abdul Rasul Alibhai, who was also a literary person, compiled few articles, such as The Sultan's Aide-de-Camp, pp. 26-27, Cotton in Kavirondo, pp. 150-153, and Plague and Politics in Kisumu, pp. 160-163, published in We Came in Daos, Nairobi, 1996.